guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I have the newest release from Knees Lacquer. I have their new Daughters of the Moon Goddess collection. If you are new to the brand, Knees Lacquer is a US-based indie brand. Their polishes are 5-free, cruelty-free, as well as being vegan-friendly. Knees Lacquer is based here in the US, but they do offer international shipping, as well as having a whole bunch of different international stockist pages for those of you outside of the US. The Daughter of the Moon Goddess collection is inspired by the book by Su Lin Tan, which cover right here. And this collection launches May 17th on the Knees Lacquer website, as well as our international stockist pages. All of the products featured in today's video were sent to me by Knees Lacquer for the purpose of swatching. This video is also sponsored. Thank you very much, Knees, for sponsoring today's video. And as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own, and I think this might be a doozy. I have quite a lot of sale information for you all, so I'll save that all for the end of the video, along with all my normal thoughts and opinions on this release. So as always, in the description box, links to where you can pick these polishes up, links to the... What are... Gidget, you're here too? Can I put this back up? Thank you. Okay, we got a crowded desk today. Links to the brand social media pages, my social media pages, and of course timestamps. Let's get into this video. First up, we have There Are No Prizes in the Game of Hearts, and Knees describes this one as a sheer pinky red with a green to blue microflake shimmer. Sheer is going to be a descriptive word for pretty much all the polishes in this release, so buckle up. There Are No Prizes in the Game of Hearts had a fantastic but very sheer formula. Even in 3 coats, you will not be able to build this one up to reach full opacity. You will have fairly obvious visible nail line with it. Your nail line will be more obvious the brighter and more direct your lighting is. You'll always appreciate a pink base with a strong shifty shimmer. The brand does describe the shimmer as being a micro flake. It is a little bit larger in particle size, but it's not like a flaky flake. It's definitely a shimmer. I think because the base color is pink and then the shimmer has a blue color shift in it, you get a little hint of purple sometimes on the nail, but I don't think there's actually a purple color shift in the shimmer. My full-in swatches show there are no prizes in the Game of Hearts in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat. Removal will be very easy with this one, but a little bit messy, and I did not personally experience any staining with it. And now we have True Greatness Lies Within, and the brand describes this one as a sheer Barbie pink with a light green to blue microflake shimmer. True Greatness Lies Within also had a fantastic but fairly sheer formula. I had a lot of trouble in editing for this one because I kept confusing this polish for the previous one. The base colors are very different, but I feel because these are both sheer pinks with similar color shimmers, they are kind of similar enough that I had to like triple check that I had the right footage for each one. I'll have side-by-side comparisons coming up after the swatch. You can see how they are in fact different, but also kind of similar at the same time. As I said a moment ago, I will always love me a pink base with shifty shimmer. It's just a winning combination for me. When built up in 3 coats, you don't get exactly the same color on the nail that you see in the bottle, but it is very, very close. The shimmer in here is super strong and super glowy. I found in my studio lighting that my camera was kind of washing out the color of the shimmer a little bit. The color that you're seeing of the shimmer in natural lighting, I would say, is a more accurate representation of the color of the shimmer that you see in person. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured. Removal will be very easy but difficult, as the shimmer will stick to your fingers and nails on removal. And here are the 2 pinks side by side. I think these are a little close, honestly, to be in the same release, but I can also see how they are in fact 2 different colors. Shimmer isn't exactly the same between the 2. I would say There Are No Prizes has a more vibrant shimmer. And now we have the Phoenix Queen, which the brand describes as a sheer coral with a silvery blue to pink microflake shimmer. The Phoenix Queen is one of the sheerest polishes in this release. Like, you just barely get a wash of color when you build this one up in 3 coats. I honestly do wish that you got more of the corally base in the bottle, and I'm not even that big of a fan of corals, honestly, but I don't know. I feel like I kind of was liking the color in the bottle, and I didn't just like how on my nail I just got like a sheer wash of color. I think that might also just be because in the bottle, this is a very vibrant, bright coral, and on the nail, that vibrancy doesn't really show up. The shimmer is definitely the star of the show in this polish. My full-in swatches showed the Phoenix Queen in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat, and you can very clearly see all of my nail through those 3 coats. This is definitely going to be sheer enough that you could potentially use it as a topper if that's what you want. I don't think this has enough pigmentation that it will throw off whatever base you use underneath of it too much. It will of course be incredibly easy, but a little bit messy due to the shimmer. And now we have Sunbird, which the brand describes as a sheer golden yellow that almost borders on chartreuse with a red to green microflake shimmer. Once again, we have another very sheer polish. You're going to want to build this one up to get some coverage going, but you will not be able to reach full opacity with this one without using an opaque base. I absolutely love this shade of yellow. I don't know if it's because the shimmer has such a strong reddish orangey look to it, but I was not picking up any chartreuse vibes from this one. I also found in person that the shimmer to me looks more like a yellowy orange to maybe like a deeper orange. I could see some green in the bottle, but I found on the nail I was largely seeing yellows, orange, gold. I really like this color scheme quite a bit. As you can see here, this is a very sheer polish, so I had some very obvious visible nail line. In bright direct lighting, I could see my whole nail through this one. I do still think this is a gorgeous color though. Would I have liked it more if it was a little bit more chartreuse leaning? Perhaps, but I'm not going to be mad at yellow and gold. Once again, we have a super easy but very messy removal, and I had no issues with staining. Next up is I Will Be Your Undoing, and the brand describes this as a soft, sheer, minty green with a pink to gold to green microflake shimmer. This one has a fantastic formula. It also covers a bit better than a lot of the other polishes in this release, but it doesn't quite reach full opacity. I am not generally the biggest lover of minty greens, but I do, however, really like this shimmer a lot. Much like the other shimmers that we've seen thus far in this release, it is a little bit larger in particle size, so you don't get any brush strokes with it, but it will make removal fairly messy. Those itty bitty little shimmer particles really want to stick to your skin and nails upon removal. There are two polishes in this release that have a greenish kind of base with shimmer that are both sheer, and when I was recording my live swatches, I got kind of mixed up on them. I will have some side-by-sides coming up because again, I don't think they're that similar. I don't know why I'm struggling so much getting footage together for this video, but that's where we're at. The overall appearance of this one is very even, but again, the base is very sheer, so you will have obvious visible nailing with this one even after 3 coats. Super easy removal. I had no issues with staining. Make sure to wear a base coat anyway though. And now we have the Celestial Kingdom, which Bees Knees describes as a soft, sheer sky blue with pink to gold to green microflake shimmer. The Celestial Kingdom had a fantastic formula, but this is a very sheer polish. You do not get a ton of that blue base on the nail. It honestly looks more like a blue toned white versus an actual blue on the nail. Largely what you see on the nail is going to be that really strong shimmer, but you can also see that the base is tinted. Once again, not really a huge fan of the base itself, but I'm really enjoying this shimmer. The shimmer is really gorgeous and it was exactly as described. I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, but I am really very much over pastels, and this one just reads a little bit too pastel for me, even though again, I do love the shimmer, just the base just wasn't for me personally. My full-in swatches show the Celestial Kingdom in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat. Once again, super easy removal, but fairly messy because of the shimmer. I had no issues with staining, but make sure to wear base coat because duh. Alright, next up is Little Star, which Bees Knees describes as a sheer aqua polish with a strong gold to green shimmer. This is the polish I mentioned earlier that I felt the live swatch portion looked just like the other one, but I wasn't sure on footage. All I know, these all applied fantastically. They're all incredibly sheer, so even if I did swap footage around, it looked exactly the same. Formula is once again fantastic. I love the gold shimmer. Y'all know how I feel about gold. Every single time I will always say, I love gold. Truly don't know why. Gold just does something to my brain, and the shimmer in here is a super strong, super glowy. There is a green color shift in it, but I find overall on the nail what you largely see is like a yellowy gold color. This is a very sheer polish. You will have very obvious visible nailing with it. I don't know what happened to my outdoor footage for this one, so unfortunately I don't have any to share with you all. Sorry. Here is the side-by-side that I was mentioning earlier. I don't think these two polishes are terribly similar. Like the shimmer colors to me are definitely very different. The base color is also different. I also feel like Little Star is a bit more sheer than I Will Be Your Undoing is. For whatever reason, I got the two of these confused multiple times while editing this video, so here they are, not dupes. And now we have They Would Know My Name One Day, which the brand describes as a soft sheer blue with a pink to gold to green microflake shimmer. They Would Know My Name also had a fantastic formula, but this is a very sheer polish once again. Build it up to get some coverage going, but you will not be able to reach full opacity with it. I like this shade of blue a lot more than the previous blue. While it's still a little pastel leaning in my book, I think it's a tolerable shade of pastel blue for me, but I would be lying if I didn't say that it was in fact the shimmer that got me to like this one. I just really like the color shifts in the shimmer. My full-hand swatches show this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. I found that the third coat doesn't really add that much opacity to this polish. I found it deepens the base just a little bit. Just like every other polish in this release, you can use it as a topper if you want, or of course pair it with a more opaque base. You don't get any brush strokes through the shimmer. The shimmer will make removal fairly messy but not overly difficult, and I had no issues with staining, but as always, make sure to wear your base coat. And now we have the Demon Realm, which Bee's Knees describes as a sheer pale grayish base with a glowy gold to green to blue shifting shimmer. This polish had a horrible formula.
Got him! Got him!
I'm just kidding. All of the polishes had fantastic formulas in this release. I just got tired of saying the same thing over and over again. So yeah, it does not have a bad formula. I was just messing with you. This is, however, another sheer one, so you definitely do need to build it up to gain any kind of coverage, but you will still have obvious visible nail line with it. Greige is definitely in the beige and taupe family, and those are 2 shades that I'm always just kind of like, am I gonna like this? I was pleasantly surprised that I did actually like how this one looked on me quite a bit. I feel this one leans a little bit more towards gray than grayish in my opinion, and then paired with that super strong shimmer, I should not be surprised at all that I was going to like this one. And also I feel it has just enough opacity that it doesn't feel too sheer to me. Again, this does not reach full opacity. I found I really liked coverage in 3 coats versus 2. So that is 3 coats of the Demon Realm plus glossy top coat, super easy removal, no issues with staining. This next polish is called Skyfire. The brand describes this one as a dark taupe with a small particle silver magnetic shimmer. Skyfire had a wonderful formula. The magnetic shimmer in this polish does show some brush strokes, so if that bothers you, you want to go in for as smooth of brush strokes as possible. We'll be magnetizing this one with a wand style magnet as well as the 30-pound horseshoe magnet. My full hand swatches show this one using a ring style magnet. Skyfire magnetized so nicely for me. I was incredibly happy with how nicely this one magnetized, and the formula just felt so smooth. I don't think I've ever described a nail polish as silky before, but I would describe this as like silky smooth application. I was just very, very impressed. The most opaque polish in the collection. If you don't magnetize it, a very metallic-y taupey kind of color, and then magnetize, you see more of that brownish taupey base. It does get a little bit more sheer as you magnetize it, so if you magnetize this one starting on your first coat, then it's going to look a lot more sheer than it looks in my photos. For my swatches here, I did 2 coats unmagnetized, and then my 3rd coat magnetized on my middle and ring fingers. My pointer finger and pinky are unmagnetized in 2 coats. Finished the day swatching on this one, so this is how the polish looked the following morning. I am admittedly a very lazy magnetizer, so I had only held my ring magnet over my nail for like 30 seconds, so I was really happy with how nicely my line stayed. The thing in here is going to dry down textured. Removal will be very easy, but a little bit messy from the shimmer, and I had 0 issues with staining. Last month, Bee's Knees had a polish called Minora that they ended up not releasing due to a pigment issue. Worked out the issue that was wrong with Minora, and that polish actually turned into this one. Here is a side-by-side of Minora and Skyfire. Alrighty, so final thoughts time. I am not in love with this release. I don't think this was a bad release. I just don't think it was the release for me personally. While I will always love shimmers and I will always, generally at least, enjoy sheers, I just felt like this release just didn't really speak to me, honestly. I feel like I said this a lot last year. I said it a lot less this year, but I feel like my favorite polishes from Bee's Knees are always the polishes that have like multiple different components in them, and when it's just straight shimmers, I'm not generally as excited, even though I do love me a shifty shimmer moment. I just feel like I've seen a lot of shifty shimmers and sheers from Bee's Knees, and I just kind of want to see other things from them as well. I do like how so many of the polishes in this release look so bright and vibrant and neon-y in the base, because like I'm so over pastels at this moment. I want bright neons, but I was a little disappointed that while the polishes look super bright in the bottle, they don't look quite as bright on the nail, and that was a little disappointing for me because again, I want me some bright neons. I want them all, and I just was a little bummed out that these were just didn't give you that kind of coloring. Again, I think the polishes are pretty. I just feel like this probably was not the release for me personally. As far as top picks from this release go, I'm gonna go with Skyfire. I was just really happy with this magnetic polish. In case you missed the announcement, I'm kind of currently in like my I don't hate magnetics nearly as much as I thought I did phase, and I've just been really enjoying magnetic polishes as of late, so this is on the list for that. I was also pleasantly surprised by just how smooth the pigment was, knowing that last month the brand had a little bit of issue with this pigment. The fact that they got it so perfectly smooth is just really just amazing. And then my second top pick is going to be There Are No Prizes in the Game of Hearts. It's pink. It's shifty shimmer. Duh, I'm gonna like it. I know a lot of you all are not super fans of the sheers, which, you know, I get it. It's fine, whatever. So Knees Lacquer is also releasing their new base coat called Phantom. This is basically a slightly more opaque version to their normal Spirit base coat, so this does have some ridge filling properties. The Phantom blurring base coat, this will work well under any kind of sheer polishes. The brand specifically is releasing it with this release because they do have some neon polishes in it, but you can use this as a blurring base coat under like any kind of sheer that you want. Formula on this is really good though. I did find if you work in like super thick coats, you will have a little bit of an issue with it pooling a little bit on the sides or tips of your nails. But if I'm going for thin to normal thickness of coats, it looks really, really nice. For my own personal wear, I'm not really a blurring base kind of gal. Just to be honest, it's not for me personally. I don't mind some visible nail line, but if you don't have one already, I do think this one is pretty neat. As far as sale information goes, the Daughter of the Moon Goddess collection goes on sale Friday, May 17th at 7 p.m. on the Knees Lacquer website. All of the polishes in this release are priced at $14 for a 15 ml bottle. If you pick up all 10 polishes, there will be a bundle listing available to save you 15% off if you pick up all 10 polishes. The new Phantom blurring base coat is going to be priced at $8 for 15 ml. There will be no limits on any of the polishes in this release. However, if you pick up mystery bags, those are one per person but not per household. And as with all of Knees releases for the past year, there is a soft cap of 1,000 bottles per polish that are ready to ship at the time of the collection launching. If any of the polishes sell out of that 1,000 bottles, a new pre-order listing will go up and the brand will mention it on the listing, and those will ship out a little bit later than the initial batch. There will also be some overpours available from the House of Flame and Shadow collection, as well as the mystery bags from that release. I'll have my video for that release linked in the description box in case you missed it. The sale period for this release ends on May 24th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, and generally Knees Lacquer, a few months after their releases, they generally will have overpours available. As far as the mystery bags go, the mystery bags this month are inspired by The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guazon. All the polishes in the mystery bags this month are all shimmer finishes, and there are a total of 6 potential polishes in the mystery bag. Each mystery bag is priced at $25 for 2 full-size 15 ml bottles, and of course, if you're not a fan of the mystery bags, the polishes in the mystery bags will be available at a later date for $14 each. The mystery bags are one per person, but multiple people in households can receive them, although I'm also curious for those of you who do get multiple bags, if your mama really wants a bag or if you're pretending to be your mama.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I'm watching you. Before we get into the mystery bags, I do want to mention Knees Lacquer is also participating in polish pickup in Hella Handmade Creations for the month of May. I did swatch both of those polishes. I have them popped up here on the side. I will have my blog post for those releases linked in the description box. Hella Handmade Creations might not be up yet, but it'll be up shortly. And then I'll also have some YouTube shorts going up on application on both polishes. If you are new to PPU or HHC, those are limited edition indie collaborations. PPU is currently live right now at the time this video goes up. It ends this Monday. Hella Handmade Creations opens up on the 14th of the month and it goes on for 1 week. Alrighty, so if you do not want to be spoiled, Storian, please don't mess with the camera. If you don't want to be spoiled as far as what's inside of the mystery bags, feel free to leave now, but before you leave, please don't forget to like the video, comment, share, all of the things. I appreciate you being here. Also, if you don't want to be spoiled, can you please comment? I'm never finding anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled, and I'm genuinely curious who's out there who doesn't want to be spoiled. Okay, now let's get into the mystery bags. First up, we have Fire Dancer, which the brand describes as a sheer navy base with a red to green microflake shimmer. Just like the polishes in the main part of the collection, both of the mysteries that I received are both very sheer shimmers. You will not be able to reach full opacity with these, but you do still want to build them up to get any kind of coverage going. Fire Dancer had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. It applied very smoothly and very evenly. I really love the color of this one in the bottle. It's a deep navy color, but since this is in a jelly base and it's also very sheer, you don't get quite as deep of a base color as what you see in the bottle. And as you're seeing here, this is a very sheer polish. Shimmer is absolutely gorgeous in this polish. Largely on the nail, I was seeing that red to like an orangey yellow. I found the green was coming in at extreme angles, especially when I brought it outside. I could see more of the green color shift. My full hand swatches show Fire Dancer in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured. Removal will be very easy. I did not personally experience any staining, but as always, I do recommend wearing base coat. Rain Singer also had a fantastic but very sheer formula. You will have incredibly obvious visible nail line with this one. I am choosing to build this one up in 3 coats. While the brand does describe this one as having a denim blue base color, I found on the nail it honestly looked kind of like a gray color to me. All of the blueness that I was seeing on the nail seemed to be coming from the shimmer. Formula again was fantastic, not too thick or too thin. It applied very smoothly, evenly. Definitely can use this one as a topper if that's your cup of tea. I found the shimmer to be very glowy and overall very smooth, but without showing any brush strokes. As you can see here in direct sunlight, this does look incredibly sheer. You will have very obvious visible nail line. You'll be able to see any kind of bruises that you have on your nails. So that is Rain Singer in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. Once again, super easy removal. The shimmer will make things a little bit messy, but not difficult at all, and I had no issues with staining. Alrighty, so that's everything. What did everyone think of this one? I'll be honest, the mystery bags this month weren't my favorite. I just, much like the main part of the collection, I love shimmers. I'm not gonna say I'm tired of shimmers. I just want more than just a shimmer and a polish at the moment. So like, I'm just not vibing with just straight shimmers. I'm just not. So again, the mystery bags are going to be available at the same time as this release. Oh, look at the 2 of them. How cute is that? So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy Bees Knees Lacquer, I have another Bees Knees centric video popping up in a couple of days for the May fandom flakies. Before we end today's video, I do want to give a very special shout out to my channel members, Shenanigang. Just thank you guys so very much for the love. Ooh, pulling my hair. For the love and support. Your names, of course, are all on the screen right now. If you would like to sign up for channel memberships, I have a link for that in the description box, or you can click the join button that should be right next to where the subscribe button is. But please don't feel pressured to sign up for channel memberships. Just like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, and seriously, we are good. So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
When I get high, I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like